You're watching Straight Black Love Talk with your host, DcRadical1, the home of intelligent, mature relationship conversations.
All right, there we go. All right, greetings.
Oh, how you doing, brother?
I am well. How about yourself?
Oh, let me cut my. Okay, I cut the YouTube off on my side. Yeah, I'm doing great. This was so wonderful. I'm just soaking everything up. This was a phenomenal live. I enjoyed this so much. Um, so yeah, thank you for having me on. My name is Asha Sekhmet. I do content on polygamy. It is my life purpose. I am a tantra practitioner. I'm an oracle. And like I said, my purpose is in polygamy, building a sovereign community. I have a sister wife tribe. It's called the Mahi Sister Wife Tribe. So it's, of course, of Black melanated women who believe in this mission as much as I do, because I take the predisposition for a Black woman in America to be for Black family. You would be pro polygamy, and if you don't take that predisposition, then you're not for a Black family. And I know that's a very strong stance, but it's based on my initiations that I've went through my education and what I have been communicated from the Most High.
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay.
What what led you to taking this position? Because let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
In the current context amongst Black women,
Mm-hmm.
this idea is, I would think, is not very popular unless I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you come to this conclusion?
Right. Great question. I was born in America, just like other Black American women, right? So that means that I was indoctrinated to have white women cultural ideologies of family and that being polluted, right? So I was initially against the ideal of it only because I didn't know what it was, right? It's just a programming. So that's the default. That's the default feminist predisposition, because we know that feminism is the killing of the family, right? It's the destruction of the family. So that makes sense why the overlap of the support with feminism and the LGBTQ plus, right? Because we have the destruction of family, right? So I, my first husband, he was telling me like, well, you're getting knowledge of self. He's teaching me. He's like, this is a part of your culture. This is a part of what you're desiring. Like you think about having a community and a family in your heart every day. And he's giving me the statistics. And he's like, don't you care about what your sisters are going through? Don't you care that if you want the community, can you see the connection between you embodying this? So I then read We Want for Our Sisters What We Want for Ourselves by Dr. Patricia Dixon Spear, African American women who practice polygyny by consent, because I had to understand the consciousness behind a woman who would do it, because I wasn't born into my culture, right? So I had to re-educate myself and really learn how we practice this as in melanated women prior to European colonialism, right? Because that's a fact. 80% of the world practiced polygamy prior to European colonialism. So that means our minds are polluted if you look at it from any other perception than community building.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure about the 80% part. I'm gonna have to look that up and see. I'm not challenging you on it, but I am sort of challenging you on it just because I just haven't seen the documentation. So, okay, here's my question. Well, if it's not too personal,
Mhm.
um, do you have children?
No, I do not have children.
Okay, all right. My question is, when you have children, since you do not, how do you think they will be affected by being a part of this collective that you're building?
Mhm. That's a great question. I also have experience with being a second wife to a Black man and a Black woman in America, and the children adopted very well. So we're talking about children with in which their minds are less conditioned and fixated with all these preset notions of of things, right? So that's what makes children, of course, more vulnerable, and what you all do in terms of defense strategies for our enemy know that. But in terms of family building, it's a very beautiful thing. So me coming in as a second wife, it was just like, I'm Mama Asha. I'm your father's other wife, and I'm mommy's sister, right? And so through that, it just beautiful. Like, that's how they viewed me, and they adapted to it very well. And these were children between the ages of 2 months to 8 years old. It was 5 children's total.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering because I mean, we're being completely honest. The situations that we have now, it's not as if something similar isn't taking place in a lot of homes, and people have to
Mm-hmm.
use people by whatever titles that they give them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and it's a question. It's not. We already don't have all types of complex relationships going on.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up a good point, right? And that was communicated with me as from spirit, like as clear as day, is that Black people already practice polygamy. I was born into a family in which there's dysfunctional polygamy. It's just disguised as monogamy, right? So my mother and father have been married for over 20 years, but my father had two other baby mothers. I have other children outside of my mother, and then my mother has 2 other baby fathers outside of my father. I have siblings on that side. That's polygamy. It's just dysfunctional. Now, right? So that's what was communicated to me as well in terms of my purpose. So I have that experience. And so what I do now is I do classes, teaching, right, coaching, one-on-one with couples, families, so that this can bring the structure and the education behind it, right? Because we know that it is the true female power is in family and community building. So, that's what they had, worked through with our women, and then becoming agents to the destruction of our own community is to destroy that.
Yeah, there. I'll put it this way: both sides have bought into things that have helped to destroy our community. Like the next show I'm gonna do is gonna be on hip hop, and to talk about at least in the post integration era, to talk about how hip hop has been used as a weapon of war, or to not talk about it, right? But to only talk about like things like feminism, we've come under multiple attacks. And so I always like to give people multiple perspectives on what is taking place. But without question, like I said, I did a whole lecture, The Death and Rebirth of the Goddess Black Woman, dealing with the origins of feminism, who was behind it, how it has affected us every day. Brothers and sisters that are in here that have seen it, it speaks for itself. So I definitely understand that. I'm trying to think. Do I have any other? Do you have anything else you want to say before we close out?
No, I can just share that if you all want to learn more information, you can just follow my social medias. So we have the Mahi Sister Wife Tribe. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And then my personal tags are I am Asha Sekhmet. And then my website is www.ashasekhmet.com. So that's it. I mean, I'm living in my purpose. So this is what I was meant to do.
All right, sister. Well, I greatly appreciate you coming through. I knew that this would be a discussion that you'd be interested in, and I did definitely wanted to hear your perspective. And I like the earrings, by the way. So, yeah, just glad that you came through. We hope you won't be a stranger. And with that, we'll just again, thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely look forward to many more collaborations and connecting with you. I've been definitely following the Straight Black Pride for years now. My first husband introduced me to Irritated Genie, and that was I ran with it in terms of knowledge of self and really So this is where, if it's anywhere I want to support, it's going to be this. So so I look forward to it. Thank you for having me on, brother. Love it from the heart. I loved everything.
All right. Well, thank you, and I'll tell Brother Genie that that you helped bring. I mean, that he helped bring you into consciousness.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cash App is $DcRadical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. Abibi for Odie and Straight Black Pride.